Hey, sports porchers. It's your hockey Jesus with game 67. Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Detroit Red Wings. Well, the Penguins get back on the winning streak and beat Detroit this evening on an early evening, Matt. They actually played one of their most solid games since probably, not really going to count that San Jose game. I probably should, but that wasn't really a solid game. It's been a while since the Penguins played as solid as they did tonight. Hey, we're going to break it down here next 10 minutes. So, hey, smash that subscribe button. Every time after every game, the Hockey Jesus is here giving it to you about what's going on with the Pittsburgh Penguins and their quest to get back into the playoffs. We're not dead yet, people. So, jump on the porch and let's give it a shout. Well, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, pretty good night for your Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. They come out and score the first goal. Never really let Detroit get in front, and they just dominated Detroit early this evening, 6-3. Maybe there was a little bit at the end there where you maybe were a little worried after they pulled the goalie with almost 4 minutes to go to give themselves a two-person advantage on the power play, and they missed a couple nets. No worries, no worries. Drew O'Connor finished the game off there with a few minutes left, anyways. Look, Pittsburgh comes out in the first period and they were smoking. They outshoot Detroit 15-4 in that first period. And honestly, it looked for a while there that even though they were out shooting Detroit, that they were going to come out of the first period tied, and that would have been bad news. But those two goals near the end of the first period, the one by Crosby and then Puustinen, about 30 seconds later, those were huge goals. And I'll tell you why. Because when the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing poorly, they give a lot of effort almost every night. And when they do and they don't get rewarded with goals, it's like they just shut down. They give up. They just don't have the energy to keep that up for 60 minutes. But you get a jolt of energy when you score a couple goals. So they were up 3-1. Look, Raymond scored a goal in the first period. That kid's a superstar. I really like the way he plays the game there for Detroit. Detroit, you should be very proud of him. He's a great player. When you get Dylan Larkin back, this team will get it back together. But I don't know. It doesn't look like that's a playoff team to me. They just don't look like they have it. They weren't getting timely saves from Lyon tonight. Although I think he played just fine. I just think he was under so much pressure. And yeah, I just think that from a goal scoring standpoint, I think you can get there when you got Larkin in. But without him, that back end is not very good for Detroit. Look, they got Olli Mata back there. He was formerly from Pittsburgh many years ago. That was Cup years, actually. But he's not good enough by himself. Chariot, he's good, but he's got a really good shot. I don't know how good he is defensively. That Fisher plays a pretty tough game. He got rewarded with a goal tonight in the second period. But overall, I don't think that Detroit team's very good. But look, in the second period, you're up 3-1, and Bunting, look, that's why they went out to get Bunting. I think the power play looks much better with him in there. I like that gritty goal that he gets to go up 4-1 right in front of the net. Really makes a great effort to get to the puck and get that goal in on a rebound. There were just a lot of rebounds tonight to be taken up. And Bunting is why they got him, to put him right in front of the net and do exactly that. Honestly, I still don't think Sid knows how to play with Bunting, which is why he got moved down to the second line, which is okay for now. But honestly, Sid's got to learn to play with Bunting. And I don't know what that means. We'll deal with that in the offseason and maybe even beginning of next year. But for now, Sid looks a little lost out there. I know he had 2 points tonight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on Sid. He's still at his point per game pace. But at times, he just looks like he's kind of just gliding out there in the defensive zone. I don't know what's going on with him. He doesn't look like he's fully engaged. And if they're going to go 10-2-3 in these last 15 games and make the playoffs, he's got to be 100% engaged at least in the games that count. Today he was for the most part. I give it to him. So and the other thing that really helped after Fisher scored that goal to go up 4-2, made the next goal really big, and Eller gets a power play goal. They go up 5-2, and really the third period was nah. Raymond gets his second of the game on a power play. Just a sweet shot. How he got his stick in a position with three other guys around him to get that good of a shot out. That's why I say I think he's a superstar. That takes some real talent and some real strength to be able to do that in traffic right in the slot. And he buried it with a great shot. But like I said before, Drew O'Connor gets the empty net. And really the Penguins just completely dominated Detroit. 15-4 at the end of the first period, 26-16 at the end of the second period in shots. They end up 40-27 shot advantage for the Pittsburgh Penguins over Detroit tonight. The thing that was really interesting tonight about Pittsburgh is Ned didn't look great. And Ned had an .893 save percentage, sub 900. The last time that the Pittsburgh Penguins won a game where Ned was sub 900 percentage save percentage, you have to go back to, where was it? January 4th, where they won 6-5 at Boston, that barn burner of a game. And Ned had an .828 save percentage that game. That's how long it was since, Ned, was sub 900 and they actually won a game. So that's actually a really good sign. I don't know that the secondary scoring can keep it up, but look, tonight we get goals from Smith, Crosby, of course, Bunning, Eller on a power play, Drew O'Connor with the empty net. I just like the way this team is, everybody's scoring. It gives everybody a little bit more confidence. But look, it's still a huge uphill climb for these Pittsburgh Penguins. 10-2-3 they got to go in their last 15 games. Look, these are the games that are really going to be important for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Next game at New Jersey Devil. Vital that they get 2 points there. Then they kind of go on a little bit of a run where they're not really playing teams that are really their competitors. So this is going to be the big run at Dallas, at Colorado. Those games, boy, those teams can really play. If they can, that's probably where they're going to have to get a couple loser points. Probably going to lose one of those games. They come home and then they play Carolina and then they play back-to-back at Columbus. They're probably going to have to get at least a point out of Carolina. That'll be a real interesting game. That's when Gensel's coming back for the first time to the Berg. Actually, I'm going to be at that game, so I'm pretty excited about seeing how that works out. But they play Columbus back-to-back. Those are must-win games. They can actually do this. I know I sound stupid saying that because, look, everybody says they're only 5 points out of a playoff position. All the games on hand are gone. They don't have any advantage anymore with games on hand. So that's out the window. Now they're going to have to beat teams that they're going to have to go in front of. At a minimum, they're going to have to tie 3 of them. So I don't know. I'm slightly optimistic, but I have to tell you, it's going to be weird because, one, if they don't and they do okay, then they're going to get themselves out of a position, a really good drafting position. So, look, I'm a diehard Penguins fan. I love the Pens. I'll never, ever say lose a game, Pittsburgh, because that just isn't in my mantra. I'd rather see them out there fighting, and as long as they got a fighting chance, I think let's still make a run at this while we have a chance. But we lose 3 games, you're going to start hearing me sing another story, but that's a story for another day. So tonight, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, rejoice because we're still in this thing. We beat the Detroit Red Wings 6-3. Crosby, Eller, Houston, and Smith all had 2 points. That's 5 points out of 6 in our last 3 games. It's reason to rejoice. So let's keep at this, huh? Let's try and make a run for it. Let's see if maybe, we can give those other teams that are fighting for that same playoff position, like the Islanders and the Devils and Detroit and even Tampa Bay to some level. Let's make them squirm a little bit, right? Why not? It's fun. It's hockey. That's what we love. You get a little bit of momentum in hockey, it can go a long way. So, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, we'll be back on Tuesday against the New Jersey Devils. And until then, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, keep the faith and let's go Pens.